Hi guys, this is one of my first YouTube videos, and these clips will be to help assist and advise you guys on how to alleviate any turmoil in your life concerning relationships and just general kinds of turmoil, to make your life more conducive, more auspicious, to give you impetus into the direction of fulfilling what you need to as a sovereign being in your life and what you need to invest in within yourself. So this clip in particular will be about relationships. Why relationships cannot always last? Well, the first one would be, let's just run things down on a more pervasive kind of scale concerning the micro macro scale of things. Nothing can last, everything's transient intervallic waves interweaving in and of itself, and things are temporary. If things had some permanence to them, how would we learn? Things have to have an expiration, and things have to expire, because things, you extract what is needed for that interval, for that short duration, and then you synthesize that, and the subfractalized versions interspersed in the illusion, the interspersions are the illusion, because it's just you looking in and of yourself at a different angle of perception through the eyes of somebody else. So little flickers of expressions of something higher and transcendental express itself through your aperture of what you are, to learn more about itself as a whole. So that's one reason why relationships can't last, because everything, the implicit thing in everything is that it is transient. Nothing can last. You're not here forever, remember that. And the second reason why relationships can't last would be, it's a relationship. So there is some initial relation to that person, which is a reflection of you. You're in relation to, right? Let me say that again. So it's a reflection of you, you're in relation to, with something innate of yourself, reflecting in that individual. Well, individual, again, speaking in these terms, as they say, three-dimensional terms are very finite. But you guys know what I mean. But yeah, so it's a relationship. You have something in common. There's a commonality initially. That's the attraction. But that commonality is just to re-invoke the potency of that within you through them, and vice versa. You're doing it with them too. And a relationship, it is a ship. It's a ship. It has a certain travel. It travels, relationship, into the, again, impetus, into a certain flow. While you're on the floor, you're only boarding the ship temporarily, and that also will expire. There's only a certain duration to the ship in the direction that it's going, to synthesize something from that, to re-invoke something within yourself. So sometimes you have to you have to get off the ship at some point. It can't last forever. It cannot last forever. You attracted that person because of a certain vibratory state in you at that time, attracted a mirror image of you to show you and to illuminate something within you to confront, for the transmutation process to be initiated, and we do that through each other. So that's the second reason why relationships. And yeah, my third point kind of was concomitant with what I've just said. The fact that we are subfractalized parts of the whole constituent self, experiencing itself through each other. And it's like God is finding more about itself through different interspersed, fractalized souls, all put a focal point of itself, discovering more of itself, unveiling more through itself. So yeah, that was kind of my third point, and the third reason why things and relationships can't last. This might not even be a form of intimacy with the opposing polarization of you, opposing sex. This might just be not just be a sex thing, but it may be friendship. Friendships also cannot last always. You might be at a certain paradigm resonance that'll attract a certain subcircle, and if you're a divine being, starseed, all these new age terms, if you're one of these beings that is being used as a conduit for God's expression to attenuate people's suffering, like I feel myself, I am a focal point of that, of attention, of the whole cosmos, trying to alleviate the turmoil that's been instilled in us. And we do that through and with each other. And if you're in a subcircle of friends, submersed within that kind of frequency, and it doesn't feel right, and there's frictional resistance, it means that you're not meant to be in that subcircle. You're not meant to be there. It's a signification that you're not, and it's the same with a relationship. It is a ship. You have boarded a ship to have an experience. Experience. Exterior, external. Seems like external is the happening in you also. So my fourth point in a relationship that was very revelatory for myself also. I've just recently come out of one. Big one. My God, this one was heavy. Some deep soulmate, maybe twin flame occurrence. You know, it might come back, I'm not sure, but you can't wait on this. You see, this is the thing. The fourth point is, these relationships are to help you, and the recognition of the sufficiency of what you are. You know, because you are a sublime being having an experience in a projection. What seems like an exterior kind of domain, but it implies you. It's an experience, it's a projection. It's projecting, it produces through a reflection of its own projection, and you are the one doing that, and that's your sufficiency. You're sufficient enough to generate that. This is where the codependency thing comes in, because then you're externalizing who you are and what you are, and substituting that for somebody else. Even in a relationship, it should be symbiotic and an infusion for a conduit to God. It shouldn't be extraction, codependency, feeling like they're not eliciting the best out of you, but they're extracting from you vampiric kind of behaviour and propensities, which we are collectively experiencing through each other. But it is a phase. Again, it's another intervallic phase. So that's my fourth reason why relationships cannot last. Because they're here to show you something more within you. So yeah. My fifth one. My fifth and finalised point that I think I've cultivated a sufficient amount of points there in order for people to reflect on and hopefully invoke enough within yourself to really reflect on your own relationships that you might be currently going through or from the past that's not quite alchemicalized to be conducive for you and in your life. And this is my first YouTube video, so I will develop more of a proficiency of the way I speak, the patterns, certain gesticulations that I'll develop. That'll be my signature thing. But this is the first clip, and I'm sorry about the auditory quality and the visual quality. I will get there. So yeah, the finalised point why relationships have to end and expire. The final point would be sometimes we have to attract the wrong to eventually have a filterization process to eventually attract who we know we should be with. Again, a symbiotic relationship, an infusion, a conduit, two polarities charging each other, the magnetism charging itself for a conduit back to the higher transcendental vibratory levels. That's what a relationship should be, through love, not ego clashing. That is evident in itself that it's not meant to be. It should be through love, and the resonance of that. The heart is convergent. It's the magnets. The mind, that should dictate and determine how the faculty of how the mind operates, not the other way around. So sometimes we attract the wrong to know who the right could be, in contrast. We only know things through contrast, through sensory perception. We only know things through contrast, to know where we should be, or what we're not, or who we are, or what we are, because there is no who. I will make another video on that. If this gets a lot of likes, shares, and a lot of attention, I will make another video on not who you are, but what you are, what you actually are. I've probably covered a lot of that in this, so I'll get more intricate. But we'll see if you like these videos. The first one won't be the best, but hey, it's out there now. So yeah, just like with the friend situation, the sub-circle of friends, you have to be with the wrong to know what the right is. So then that can be advantageous to you and your friends. You can reflect that and reciprocate it amongst you and your friends. Same in relationships, got to be reciprocity. If not, then what is the point in the whole thing? It's just vampiric, and you will get your energy will get extracted, and there is other forms of energy feeding off that, and that will be another clip as well. That will be another clip. There's not just us that are here. It's all condensed into the focal point of you, and it's all reflections of the you that's being itself for what it is. But these are other clips. I will do other clips on these. This is the first one. It's about relationships solely, so we'll keep it inclusive about relationships, mainly the opposite sex. So yeah, don't worry about this. If a relationship's not going down very well, it's hard to accept, but it's not meant to be. If any of these points that I've mentioned, the positive ones, are not being reciprocated in this relationship, it's not meant to be. It has to fit. It has to fit. And it has to enhance you. Enhance. Vivify you. Every cell has to vivify. And if it's not, thank that person for showing you more of who you are, who you know you are or should be. And maybe you could teach them something too. Anyways, guys, that's this video done about relationships, why they can't always last. Please subscribe, share this video, share it, propagate it. Not just share the video, but synthesize what I've said, and also propagate this too to your friends, to your family. We need to collectively be liberated on a collectivized scale, and the only way through liberation is to teach each one, and not just through the ego, through love. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.